This is going to be interesting and probably very surprising because what I'm about to say it is probably not at all what you are expecting. You know, when we are children, things, the weirdest things are creepy, the weirdest things are scary to us. And there are two things I want to talk about today, which absolutely horrified me as a child. And it may be very strange when looking back at it, but I thought, let's take a little peek inside and show you what exactly scared me so much. There are two things I want to talk about today. Two things that scared me to death. To the point where I had to leave the room, I ran to my own room, and just had to hide whenever these things came up. One of them is from a TV show, and the other one is from a video game. The first one is from the Pokemon anime. But what I'm referring to is the episode or episodes, maybe plural, I can't remember, where Ash Ketchum and the gang arrive in Saffron City. I think it was Saffron, where the psychic gym leader Sabrina was the main focus of the episodes. These episodes scared me so much that I definitely could not watch them alone. And there are certain parts in these episodes where I had to run up the stairs to my room to hide because I found them to be so scary. I don't know how old I was at the time, but it was apparently pretty terrifying. So I hope, at least for my own sake, that I was fairly young at this point. But basically what terrified me so much about these two episodes was Sabrina herself and the little, I think it was a doll that she was holding, which had a white hat, I think, and I don't think you could see her eyes. I think they were covered in shadows. And basically what I remember was that there was this guy, which turned out to be Sabrina's father, who kind of warned Ash Ketchum and the other ones, I think, about Sabrina. And when they eventually got to Sabrina, I think her little doll, or the little person at least, transformed Ash Ketchum and the other ones into small little dolls, put them in a dollhouse, and she basically tried to roll a ball over them or something. I'm just taking this from a memory, so I might be wrong, but that's what I remember. And that was terrifying in itself, but that was not the scariest part. I think my memory might, blow this up a bit, but there is an image I have in my head, which was the thing that scared me the most. And it was Sabrina's face, or rather her upper body, that came up in the background behind Ash Ketchum as he was scared. And I think Sabrina was really angry. I think that's why they did this effect where, she faded in behind Ash Ketchum. And her hair was kind of covering her eyes.
You won't help me?
Well, are you ready yet?
Yeah, just a sec.
The battle will begin now.
And I think that was so terrifying for two reasons. One, because she turned out to be so huge behind Ash Ketchum, this menace, this force behind him, and also because she was so dangerous. She had these psychic powers where she was a danger. And I think I put myself in the shoes of Ash Ketchum at that age, and I felt so scared. It felt like there was an animal that I had to just get away from and run away from. And so that image of Sabrina coming up behind Ash with that pose in that size, that was the scariest thing of the episode from my memory. I don't remember exactly how it looked, but in my memory, it is probably much more terrifying than it is in reality. So it's going to be fun to kind of look back at the episode later and see how the episode really is, and just see how my childhood fears might be triggered again from that episode. But it's interesting to look back at, isn't it? To just see what kind of weird stuff we were scared of as children. The other thing is probably even more random and even more unexpected. It's probably not from any game that you might have in mind. It is not from a horror game whatsoever. It's from a little game. I think it was on PlayStation 1 as well, but we had it on our computer. It's a little game called Aladdin Nasira's Revenge. From a memory of it, it is a really good game. Some camera issues, which is standard with some old 3D games, but it was a really good game and a really long game from my memory, and also a game that was very tough. So what was terrifying about this game? For this one, I don't really have an explanation as to why, but it is one specific thing. So the main antagonist of this game is a witch called Nasira, which tried to resurrect Jafar, which was the main antagonist of the original Aladdin Disney movie. That is basically the plot of this game. She is trying to resurrect Jafar. And Nasira was this very, very skinny woman, old woman, wearing purple. And she terrified me, to be honest. And what made it so creepy, or the little thing that was so terrifying that I could not do it without my parents there or my brother there, or without running out of the room myself, was when you wanted to exit the game. Because what happened was that you would get a game over screen. It was a still image of Nasira just standing there with her hands on her hips. Just a still photo of her with kind of a blank, semi-serious facial expression with the text "the game over," I think. And we had the game in Norwegian because the game was dubbed in Norwegian, so we had it in that. And it was just this still image of her with no music or anything, and just her voice was playing. And in Norwegian she said, "Spillet er slutt, farvel Aladdin, for alltid." And then she left. And in English, that basically translates to "Game over, farewell Aladdin, forever." And then she left.
Game over. Goodbye, Aladdin. Forever!
Why that was so terrifying that I had to leave the room? Or had my parents exit the game for me? I'm not sure. Can't explain it. But is it fun to think about now? Yeah, very much so. If I had to guess, I think it was something about Nasira's character that terrified me as a whole. Her tall, skinny, and presence, or the character, but her evil presence combined with that. I think it made her feel like a snake, a demon, something of the like, something that was very dangerous, something very evil. And I think it was something when you got that game over screen and the music is not there anymore and she's talking. I think it gave me a feeling of being dragged out of the illusion of the game and into a kind of a middle ground between the game here and me as a player here, where this game over screen happens here in the middle, which made it semi-real, if that makes sense. Kind of a fourth wall break. And it felt like she was kind of dragging me out of the game. The game world was here, and now she was kind of dragging me away from it. The gameplay and the music and everything was left behind here in the game, and she took me and talked to me directly as a player in a place where there was no music and just me and her, and telling me directly that game over, farewell forever, with an evil laugh afterwards. I think that is what made it so terrifying, because it felt like she was talking to me directly. It felt like it was just me and this evil being. And that terrified me. I think it simply felt more real than the video game part. of the game did. And so that is really really fun to look back at, and how some things can really terrify us as children. And there are probably more examples of things that terrify me. I can't remember anything at the moment from recording this, but there's probably plenty more of seemingly random stuff that I found to be scary. But these are the ones that came to mind, and I think it could be interesting to hear if there are similar stories with you people. With you guys watching this, is there anything from your childhood that, when you look back at it, it was kind of strange to be so scared of it, but when you did experience this as a kid, it was the most terrifying thing in the world? Do you have any stories like that? I would love to hear them in the comments. So if you want to see more videos from me, check out my channel if you're new. See if there's stuff there that you enjoy, and if so, subscribe, because I'm trying to make this channel grow and grow and grow to get better and better videos. Drop a like as well if you enjoyed the video, that always helps out. And I have a little Patreon as well in the description that you can check out if you want videos early and be able to vote for what I'm gonna make a video of next, as well as some other goods here and there. Check it out if you want to support me and get those perks alongside it. Stay brave and don't be too scared out there, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.